Hello. This is my next video on my very long request list. As I said, it might take me a while to get my requests through to you, but I do get them to you eventually. So this is for someone who all those moons ago asked me, as a Life Path 7 expression number 3, to do them a video on how these two numbers blend. Now, on first glance, the Life Path 11 is all about learning to develop yourself inwardly. It's all about inner work, inner development, learning who you are, that you're a soul inside a human body, that you've lived before, that you'll live again, that you're here to learn and evolve and all that. It's walking the spiritual path and it's developing yourself in here. That is the main point of a Life Path 7, amongst a few other little bits of detail. Your expression number 3 makes you absolutely excellent at outward expression. So communicating with others, being social, performing, many 3s are actors and performers and speakers and creative artists, messy creative artists who are socially hilarious. They're comedians, they're the life of the party, so they're more external. So you've come with a talent that is great at performance, but you have a life path that's asking you to go within. So I can see straight away your first big issue is going to be learning to be able to push aside your talent for a while, which is all about external expression and creativity and taking action, and start going quiet and looking within and becoming less social. It's like these two numbers can be seen as very different, and they are in many ways, but the key here is how can you use your social experience, your outward expression, your action, your vitality that you are as a talented number 3 to help you develop as a 7. Now, outer experience, it's not just theory that teaches a 7. It's not just research that teaches a 7. It's not even just their intuition solely that teaches a 7. It's all about their experience and, most importantly, their experience with others. It's, they're here, 7s are here to learn and develop through multiple means. So this person is likely to use their external experience and their performance and their communication with others to help them develop within. There's no reason why these numbers can't be very creatively used to help each other, even if on first glance they appear quite different. So as a 7, your areas of development and your most important number in this lifetime is to learn to trust the soul within you. The fact that your soul has had multiple lifetimes and will have lifetimes after this. It's about having faith that the soul within you has a lot more knowledge than what you've gained in this lifetime. It's all about faith over worldly logic, trusting that you're a spiritual being in a human body, an incarnated soul that has lived before. And you're here to not to overthink using worldly logic. You've got to learn to trust and act on your soul's stored intuitive wisdom, experience and learning gained from previous lives and this lifetime, without overthinking and putting worldly logic on it and allowing that to stamp all over your intuition. This lifetime is only part of your personal journey to your own spiritual soul's evolution, and everything is as it is for your development. 7s can often feel that they can't trust anyone, that the world is against them, but actually the world is both light and dark, and it's a school of learning for you. And the more you as a 7 trust that the world is a school of learning and it isn't against you personally, and that you're here to learn from the good and learn from adversity, you'll start to reframe this and start to trust others on an intuitive basis rather than a conspiracy theory kind of non-trusting basis. Your talent, not directly related to the 7, is verbal expression. The 7 is about learning to be inner, You're talented at expressing outer, the positive, authentic, emotional creativity of a creative artist, performer, dancer, athlete, speaker, artist. You're a confident, emotional, creative performer and creative artist, quite happy in front of an audience, enjoying the limelight. You're interdependent, dynamic, a courageous doer, courageous doer, an executor of ideas whilst also listening to guidance of those around you, taking responsibility for your actions. You're a very talented socially, a skilled network, opportunistic, talkative, very fun to be around, but you kind of keep a performance distance rather than pull people close. So even though these two numbers look very different, that doesn't mean the expression number 3 can't be used in a big way to help develop your 7. All that outer expression that you throw out as a 3, and all the people that you meet and communicate every day, these are also catalysts that you can use for your self-reflection as a 7 to help you to learn and evolve. It's not just all about the theory and the research. That's needed too, the theory, the research, the experience, and then filtering it through your intuition to see what the truth is. So let's look at how the 7 breaks down and see how the 3 affects each area. So as a 7, you're here to learn and have faith that you're an immortal soul that has experienced multiple lifetimes, and you will experience more after this. You're here to trust the soul within you by listening to and following that intuitive voice within, without and not allowing yourself to overthink and apply all this worldly logic. Often the chimp within you, or the ego, speaks up when you have an intuitive knowing, and it's about understanding what's the intuitive knowing and what's the ego chimp that's trying to sabotage me, and pushing aside the chimp or the ego and staying with that intuitive voice within without overthinking or allowing fear to stamp on that intuitive knowledge. Listen to and allow that inner voice to help you feel safe enough to communicate your soul's wisdom without fear of ridicule. The world is not against you, remember. The world is both light and both dark, and your wisdom is needed by the world, and you will not be ridiculed. Use your intuition to know what it is that you need to express to the world. Your 3 talent energy means you're lively, you're extremely focused, and as I said, on that outward emotional expression in the world. You're talented socially and physically, you can move your body well, you're entertaining, you're adventurous, and you're just a doer. You like to do rather than think, I suppose. Your outward focus is not so conducive to listening within. You're here to be a thinker, you're a talented doer. Your outward focus is not always conducive to listening within or developing yourself spiritually, but as I said, you can use that outer experience, if you enhance it skillfully, to help you to develop yourself internally. So to support your life path 7, you must look within and listen to your soul's wisdom. Now, this isn't going to be easy when you're a very lively and expressive 3, but as it is, your life path is a path of development, and it's time to learn to be able to calm your soul, listen to your soul's wisdom, and use quiet daily reflection and meditation to help develop you and to enhance your self-learning and self-reflection. You're here to trust that the world is not against you. The universe is everything existing in perfect balance. It's like a cosmic library of all knowledge and experience, like a 50-50 light-dark situation. And we've got to experience it all to learn. We can't really learn how great love is without understanding the horror of hate. You can't really understand what health is without seeing illness. And to top it off, you can't be a healer without having sick people. We do need everything. We need the experience of everything. Your talent in the 3 energy provides you with quite a lot of positivity regarding others in the world. I mean, you do tend to push things aside in favour of things that make you feel good. However, you tend to focus on the positivity and the fun. You may fail to take time to learn about this balanced nature of the universe and take time to really understand the spiritual depth of things. But that's something you can develop in your lifetime. So support your life path 7, manifest your natural positivity, and delve into research on those fundamental truths without allowing those fundamental truths to bring you down. But it's important as a 7 that you don't hide behind a facade of fun and positivity and optimism, and that you do look beyond that veil to really see the truth of the matter within things. That's important for you as a 7. Your focus for this lifetime has got to be inner development, because that's what you're here to do, rather than outer expression, development, or even success in the world. You're what we consider outward success. Success comes from within, but when I say success here, I mean worldly success. So you must develop yourself. It's all about developing you internally, constantly, with self-discovery, learning spiritual wisdom, filtering that through your intuitive voice within for its truth. Daily meditation and walking in nature is great for a 7, and it helps the 7 to calm down and start to commune with nature and go within, which is what they're here to do. Because your 3 talent energy means that your talent centers around appropriate positive outward emotional expression, which again is going to possibly get in the way of your inward focus. So support that life path 7. You need to take time to turn your attention inward. Listen to your inner voice, trust, meditate, listen to and follow your intuition. Then you can use your emotional expression talent through the 3 to express and communicate your truth and your wisdom and your knowledge. You're here to learn to also be a 7, a thinker, a problem solver, a studier of the metaphysical, the big questions. Who am I? Why am I here? You know, am I a human in this world, or am I a soul in a human body? You know, have I lived before? Will I live again? You know, what am I? What is the meaning of life? That is the 7's thing that they're here to learn, to research and learn about, to analyze theories, to accrue wisdom by channeling it through their intuition. But also, as I said, outward, it's not just theory and research, it's also the experiences you have on the outside. It's all about all of that, and then you filtering that through your intuition so that you learn. But you know, you also need to start to sit down and look at the theory, and that's going to be a bit of a struggle for a doer like an expression number 3, because your 3 talent energy gives you dynamic doer emotional expression. You're a doer rather than a thinker. You learn by experience, trial and error, rather than thought processes or analysis. So if there's a big move around needed here, and don't beat yourself up if this takes you your whole life to be able to do. Remember, your life path is a lifelong lesson. We sometimes forget that and expect ourselves to learn things quicker than maybe we're able to learn them. So support your life path 7. Develop towards, through self-discipline and the knowledge of your purpose, to think and spend a bit more time thinking rather than doing, spending more time in nature, quietly in meditation, to start to listen to that voice within you and start thinking how you could use that inner voice as your validation to act. You're here to learn to filter your researched wisdom through your intuition, so that's your experience in the world, your researched theory, and then filter that through it, your intuitive voice within for its truth. Does that feel right to me? Researching other people's theories, experiencing people and situations in the world, and understanding how that fits with you and how your intuition feels about that. Because 7s, they can get far too analytical and ignore their intuition completely and absolutely overanalyze everything and stamp all over their intuition. or they can swing the other way and be totally spiritual and ignore all other theories and, not listen to the world at all and basically live in the clouds. But for you as an expression 3, you're more likely to be the analytical one because you're so, with your talent 3, world focus. So you're likely to be more on the idea of being too analytical and ignoring the intuitive voice within you. So your 3 talent energy may cause you to struggle to think, to sit down and think, not struggle to think. Yeah, well, there's no problem with your ability to think, but to take the time to want to sit down, research, think and analyse, and be quiet enough to listen to that inner voice within. In fact, you often need a lot of guidance from others, and that's another thing that you can use to help your 7 development, is listening to others' guidance, which you obviously need to do as a talented 3. So support your life path 7. You must learn to sit down and think and muse, learn, research, analyse, understand, filter it through your intuition, and then adapt that theory for your own intuitive needs and understanding. You're here to be a free thinker. You're not here to follow crowds. 7s aren't here to be interested in popular culture or following the norms of fashion or appearance. If everyone's wearing super dry jackets, which happened to me as a 7, I would not touch a jacket that everybody else is wearing. I'd rather wear a jacket that stands out, and I don't really care. So you're here to be a free thinker, less interested in what everyone else is doing. You're not going to wear a certain coat or colour or certain pair of shoes just because everybody else is. And following the norms of fashion and appearance is not something the 7 is here to be into. It can make them feel different and make them feel isolated at times, but they don't need to feel like that because they can be an individual in a crowd. And that's what we all could be. Your 3 talent energy means that you're already a free thinker and a bit of a rebel. 3s aren't, they think about themselves and their own fun, and they don't always consider the impact of their actions on others. So they're very much a creative free thinker as well. However, they're also extremely social, and they want to be around other people, and they're sensitive to the opinions of other people as well. So being around others as a talented 3 can, sort of push you or cause you to homogenize with popular culture just to fit in, and maybe even push away the hard truths in favour of optimism and fitting in with everyone and all dancing together. So support your life path 7 by winning others over with your authentic truth. Be a trendsetter, not a trend follower, because as a 7, you're not here to follow the norms just because everybody else does it. You're here to follow your own intuitive voice within and go your own way. You're here to develop the ability to focus. 7s struggle. They're always looking here, there and everywhere at all different theories and research projects. It's all just so much fun to a 7. I know, I'm a 7. You're here to develop the ability to focus on a theory, subject, experience long enough to develop yourself and develop it into something useful for your own self-development and even the development of others. Because you can be, as a 7, a little scattered and struggle to focus on one spiritual self-discovery topic at a time. You're also a talented 3 who's also quite scattered and creative and sometimes finds it hard to focus on one thing. You're scattered as a 3. You're dynamic. It's because you're creative and you're meant to be able to be adaptable in the mind. And you do naturally struggle to focus on one thing because you're all about creating the new. And this isn't going to be easy, but you need to put your focus into one thing at a time. Focus and study it with discipline, so you almost learn to be really knowledgeable in that area, so you can then ask your intuition if that knowledge is good or what parts of that knowledge is good. Boredom is going to be an issue. It could torment you at times as a talented 3 because you love variation as a 3. You love excitement, you love people, and sitting down in a quiet and thinking and focusing isn't always, it's not going to be something you're talented at, let's just put it that way. And the boredom of spending time focusing on one subject beyond what you would normally can torment you, but you must stay focused on that one discipline, because that's what's going to help you to support your life path 7. You're here to develop interdependence, self-sufficiency, but also a healthy dependence on other people, because 7s can be like 1s. They think that they can work alone and do everything themselves, but they need to understand that we're all interdependent. And 7s know that, really, if they've walked down their path at any length of time. We're all little souls connected in the energy source, and we all affect each other, and we're all connected to each other, and we can't do anything alone. In fact, real independence is actually a myth. So 7s are here to understand that and learn that we're all interdependent. Self-sufficiency is great, but we're also dependent on each other's too, and we need to give and receive in equal measure, because we can't exist in isolation, and we need to understand that we're all here to help each other in a very interdependent way. Excuse me. Your 3 talent energy means that you're naturally interdependent. You just love people. Your excellent social skills will make you less likely to push others away like you would if you were just a 7. However, the 3s can be very spontaneous and fun and let's just do it, which can make them irresponsible, a bit of a risk taker and not always thought through risks, which can cause them to end up being in trouble or even dependent, which is going to cause an issue when you're here to be interdependent. So this swing from independence to dependence can be an issue in this person's life or anyone else that is a 7 expression 3. So support your life path 7. Work to be more consistent so that you can gain the independence that you need, thus the interdependence you need. You need to be able to give to the collective as well as take from the collective. And that's giving and receiving in equal measure in an independent energy. Oh dear, cough, cough. Excuse me, everyone. So you're here to learn as a 7. It's very important that you deal with these emotions. As 7s, we're very emotional beings, and we often hold those emotions and quite explosive emotions inside instead of expressing them and reconciling them in a positive way. Others often think that 7s are very aloof and disconnected and unemotional, but actually they're a well of deep emotions. They're just sat there boiling underneath the surface, but others can think that they're a bit offish or aloof and unemotional like a robot, but that can't be further from the truth. Underneath it all, the 7 is a boiling well of emotion that they need to understand and reconcile and not hold inside. We need to express our emotional side, but do so in a positive and informed way that takes account of how our emotions affect the source energy of souls around us. So your emotional nature will be more overtly expressed when you're a talented 3. So you're less likely as a talented 3 to hold the emotions in like a 7 would in isolation. 3s feel and express deep, intense and often explosive emotions, making them less likely to appear aloof to others because of their social nature. You're socially talented, you connect with others to a point. Remember the performance distance of a 3. So support your life path 7. You must become aware of your intense emotions and your emotional triggers and understand how that affects others. And understanding and becoming aware of what kicks you off can help you to understand and manage your emotions so that you can connect more deeply and positively with other people and help people to understand that you are trying to express your emotions in this lifetime. You may tend to often try and hold them back, but as a talented 3, that is really going to help you to not hold in the emotions like a 7 can. Because if a 7 does hold in their emotions and they are a talented 3, the emotional explosion will be intense and extremely damaging. So it's not good for a 7 to hold in their emotions or push them away or not acknowledge them. Those emotions, those reactions, those feelings, they need to be felt. They need to be analysed and thought about to think, you know, this trigger that I have, how does that help me? How does that help others? Why do I have this emotional trigger? Because that in itself, that kind of exploration of your mind in itself will help damage the trigger, which always makes you angry in a certain situation. So it's emotional analysis that's really important, and your triggers, to help you understand what kicks you off and help you to maybe express those emotions a little more positively for the benefit of yourself and everyone else around you. You're here to learn to balance your need to be alone as a potential 7. Remember, potential 7. Which can make you want to pull away from people a little bit and isolate yourself from others, because you love as a potential 7 to be alone, but you must ensure that you don't isolate yourself beyond what is healthy. And when you're in a low emotional mood, you're more likely to isolate yourself beyond what is actually healthy. Your 3 talent energy means that you are excellent socially, you're very optimistic and fun, and this talent, this social talent, can be used to balance your tendency to isolate yourself. So support your life path 7, use your social talent to help you to make sure you balance your social alone time with your social and outward time. And you might find that as a 3, that actually you spend too much time being social and not enough time being alone. So for the 7, it's about balancing the 2, so that, you know, you have the outer communication with others, but you're also spending that time in amusing and meditation and development. So balancing your social alone time is going to be really key for you. I hope you've really enjoyed my video today. If you want to understand more about these videos, these 2 books will help you greatly, especially Remember Your Talents. First of all, Remember Your Purpose breaks down all the lessons from your life path and birthday number and gives you a good detailed idea of all the lessons that you're here to achieve in this lifetime. Remember Your Talents, it does what I do in these videos. It shows you the elements of the life path and how each element of all the expression numbers affect it. Now, I've done all the life paths in this book and all the expression numbers, so it's quite a weighty book, but it's something that you can use to develop yourself, and you can read for other people and blend the numbers for other people. And these are 2 great books to use if you want to become a numerologist yourself. And they're all on Amazon, and I'm going to put a link to my books on Amazon in the description box. So again, I hope you've really enjoyed my video today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to buy my books, the descriptions for Amazon are in the description box. I have courses on Udemy if you'd like to learn to be a numerologist. And if you'd like some one-to-one support from me on learning to become a numerologist, please contact me, send me an email. If you'd like a reading, a personal life purpose, talents and passions reading, please email me. I'm sure I can fit you in for a good old life purpose reading, give you some direction. And if you'd just like to ask me questions or maybe even request a video, either send me an email or put a comment on my videos. So, and of course you can also contact me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter, but you're going to get a quicker response if you email me, because I'm already quite a scattered person and like to see all my messages in one place. So if you want to learn numerology, I have Udemy courses and books, and I offer one-to-one. If you'd like a reading, email me, or if you'd just like to request a video, send me an email or put a request in the comments box of one of my videos. So whatever I've said to you today, if it doesn't fit with your soul, don't do it, because your soul knows what's best for you. See you soon.